Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you and welcome to this session. Can you please let me know if I'm properly audible and visible? Okay. For those who are watching me for the first time, I'm Niharika Jha, and I have been English for more than 10 years now. I'm a faculty of English here. I have this great session going on for you people. यहाँ पर हम कर रहे हैं editorial analysis where we are covering skimming, practicing to read speedily and of course meaningfully, not just finishing off a task, but understanding in a way where we don't get lost into in-depth reading. Second, what we are doing is vocabulary. Now, vocabulary is very important for any of the exam where English is asked. You know that. Same goes for grammar. So we are doing grammar part as well over here. And then there are some MCQs. Some are based on the passage, and the others are based on error detection. Also, we do have summary and some exam angle to discuss. There is a lot for you, okay, in this one session. It is a power packed session for all of you. So stay here till end, participate in the things. When I ask something, reply here. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? It will go wrong. Nobody is gonna penalize you. Nobody is gonna say that it's a sin that you have made a mistake. That's okay. That's how we learn. Okay. Just a quick update. Apart from this, I have classes at 1:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this channel. CSAT, RCs we are doing. And same time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday, I have class on a sister channel which is CGB IBPS. Okay. Now, for those who are not aware of what skimming is reading, skipping some words, and the way we read is to understand the essence of it. So, your focus should be on subject and verb of each sentence. If you can catch, your eyes can, like take a photograph of what is the important word, you are able to filter the important words, then you will only focus on those words and through that you will be able to understand the passage. तो हम skip कर करके पढ़ेंगे. Okay, unnecessary names, unnecessary figures we are not gonna read out loud in our mind. We will not do lip sync. आपको माइंड में इमेज कैप्चर करके पढ़ना है. So don't lip sync. Your lips should not move because that will simply elongate the time you are taking to read. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2.5 minutes here. This is the article taken from today's The Hindu newspaper. This is an editorial. 2.5 minutes में आपको skim करना है, and once you are done, you need to tell me 2 line summary, 1 to 2 line summary. Once you are done skimming, please let me know in a line or two what did you get from the passage, what do you think is the summary. That means the whole thought in 2 lines. Okay, that's the challenge actually. I'll by that time start explaining, and you can also cross check what you understood. Is this the same thing that ma'am is explaining? This will help you in gaining more confidence with respect to your comprehension skills. Life unknown on science and research freedom. So it relates to science. The cosmos holds limitless mysteries. So author is talking about the mystery, something that is beyond our understanding. Cosmos, universe का को बोलने का दूसरा तरीका है. For the constrained human mind, mysteries are there for a human mind, and that has limitations. So let's see what the author is saying. The University of Cambridge issued a press release regarding a paper co-authored by one of its scientists. Now there is a press release that says that reported an exoplanet called K218b may be habitable. Habitable means a place where life can exist, people can exist. Okay, living beings can exist. With the misleading headline. The headline was Strongest Hints Yet of Biological Activity Outside the Solar System. This was the highlight, this was the headline to which author is saying this is misleading. The paper published on this date. Now, in my mind, I'm not going to read out the date, April 1725. I'm not going to do that. If this would have been, if this were a an RC asked in exam, I would have gone to this point only if I saw this date or date related question. But generally, I'll just skip it. So, made headlines because astronomers have been interested for some time in this exoplanet's peculiar surface physiochemistry. So, this paper that was co-authored, this made headline. This was in the news because this exoplanet K2, it has been a point of interest because of the surface, a very unique kind of surface, and uska jo physiochemistry hai. The paper is to its credit sedate in its prognostications. Okay, so now prognostication is some kind of prediction, and when we are saying that this paper is to its credit sedate, that means it is composed of, okay, sedation bhi hota hai. So the paper is to credit sedate in its procrastination. The authors have reported detecting the presence of dimethyl sulfide or dimethyl disulfide in K218b's atmosphere. Basically, उनके पास एक छोटा सा clue है. The former is considered a sign of life. So whatever they figured out, the former, that is considered to be present as a sign of life on the earth and could be on the exoplanet. Independent scientists and the paper's authors have called for dispassionate efforts to refine the data. So they have called for, very interesting and highly seen in exam, demand karna. Okay, so they have demanded efforts which are dispassionate to refine the data and reduce uncertainties, as well as to double check the implication. They want to double check. They can't just believe it like just like that. They want to be assured of. They want more evidence. So if the history of search for biomarkers on other planets, okay, if the history of the search for biomarkers on other planets, both within and without solar system, is any guide, there is no guarantee the findings will not be overturned. Okay, so if we can see the history of such signs that people have earlier observed on any of the planet inside outside solar system, if this is the case, then there is no guarantee that the findings will not be overturned. That means there are chances the findings may be overturned. The cosmos still harbors too many mysteries for us to not be surprised by new information awaiting discovery. So cosmos is full of, universe is full of mystery. Research of this nature, initiated by curiosity and a pursuit of the unknown, has sometimes been overtaken by hype. So, author is saying it's more about the hype, more about people really getting interested. They get a buzz over it, and because of that, such a study or such a research gets into limelight. Unfortunately, it faces another threat today. Okay, so there is another threat, that is funding cuts of the type US President Donald Trump has unleashed in his country. So we already read about it. A lot of fundings have been cut, and this type of research may fall under that ambit where they may lose funding. After downsizing or cancelling grants issued by a National Institutes of Health, Mr. Trump began holding entire universities hostage. Not literally, this is a metaphoric way to say, because of course it's not going to happen literally. So the downsizing, that means lowering or cancelling altogether the grants given to them. Okay, Mr. Trump, he has started holding entire universities hostage, means the control is with him. Draw down DAI initiatives and rein in student protest or forego federal funding, he seemed to say. What did he say? He say he wanted to control, rein in करना, control करना होता है, check में रखना होता है. So student protests are gonna stay in check, और forego federal funding. Central funding जो है वो या तो जाने दो या तो चीजें सही करो. This is what he said. The institutions affected count some of the world's best in their ranks and the funding withheld. So they are one of the best all over the world in their ranks, in their degrees and all, and now they don't have enough funding. A non-trivial fraction of that spent on certain subjects worldwide. And it's not like a big amount which is getting invested somewhere important, or more important in what they were doing. Earlier this month, the White House's budget proposal for 26 fiscal revealed its plans to cut National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration funding by 27%. So, there is a first cut in this funding. Nix most spending for science at NASA's Space Flight Center. Nix करना is also cutting down, तो वहाँ से भी कम कर दिया है. And half करना, when you talk about the verb form, we say HALV, half. NASA's Earth Science budget. Everything he has reduced the budget, the funding. The essential program is to control the practice and pursuit of science. Okay, the essential program is to control the practice. It should not be overfunded, unke according. And pursuit of science that does not align with the Republican state ideology. Curiosity-driven research, such as that concerned with the possibility of extraterrestrial life, which is the first part, both proves universities' freedom to explore the unknown and fulfill the innate curiosity of humankind. So, curiosity-driven research इसको माना जा रहा है, where it is concerned with the possibility of life outside of Earth, and this proves universities' freedom that they just want to explore things because of the curiosity they have, something we want to know as a humankind. However, the Trump government policies leave whatever research freedom that remains very precious, yet also more vulnerable to misinformation and ideological capture, and the world itself more short-sighted. So, author is saying at the end that the Trump government policies, because already funding has been cut, so the freedom has gone. There is no complete freedom. There are other restrictions as well. In such a scenario, it remains very precious, yet vulnerable to misinformation, because now the things are tight. Misinformation can take over. That's why we are more vulnerable to misinformation and ideological capture. Some things based on ideology of other people are going to get promoted, and the world itself more short-sighted. So we cannot see things clearly. We cannot see things in far future. So how the funding part and is affecting the whole research game is what author wanted to help us know through this article. Cool. Nobody has sent any summary. Shall I ask why? Send something. Let's do some phrases and idiom. Cosmos, it's outer space, Brahman, universe. So the universe has an ordered and harmonious system. That's why it's called cosmos. Constrain is a verb which means to limit, restrain something or someone from doing something. एक कुछ ही प्रकार का ब्रेक पॉज लगाने के लिए जो कुछ करा जाता है, that's called constraint, that is बाधित करना. Forgo is another word. Giving up, letting go, willingly giving up. Okay, त्यागना. It's forgo. Non-trivial, trivial is insignificant, non-trivial is significant. Something super important, substantial, महत्वपूर्ण, important. Innate, that means inherent, जो ना हमारे अंदर हमेशा से हो. Not that somebody came and taught us, somebody came and gave that kind of push to us or forced us कि हम वो सोचे. Anything that is inborn, natural instinct, जन्मजात है, स्वाभाविक है, उसे innate कहा जाता है, which is an adjective. Looks like a verb for some reason, but it is not. Exoplanet is a planet outside a solar system. In fact, exoplanet word vocab is used always for the planets. Scientists and all keep getting outside our solar system. Prognostication is a prediction, a prophecy, a projection, purvanuman, especially used in the context of space and scientists जो forecast करते हैं. Okay. Dispassionate, free from emotional bias, being objective, being impartial. ऐसा है तो ऐसा है. Okay. It means the result or something is not coming out of emotions. Okay. It is free from that. It is very logical, objective, निष्पक्ष होना. Biomarkers are substances indicating biological process. जिससे पता चले they are the indicators of life. Okay. Curiosity driven research, the research that is based on pure interest, not immediate utility. Okay. So curiosity क्या है? Audio is okay. Okay, this was happening yesterday also for some reason. And I checked my net and all, it was working great, but for some reason, this video problem has been coming. If you can ignore, that would be great. Can we ignore the video problem? Pragya, Shashank, other people? Okay. Let me try fixing it. I know. Is the problem with audio as well? See, I checked the connection and all, things were all good to go. But if you can help me, can you please confirm me the audio? If audio is working fine or not? Audio is fine, thank you. Audio is okay. So I'll continue like this, okay? I just want you people to focus here. So ideological, no, curiosity driven research. A research that is purely based on interest. It may not be of any use at all. It may not be of any kind of utility. But it is something that is just for the sake of exploring. तो उसे क्यूरोसिटी ड्रिवन रिसर्च बोलते हैं. Hype, excessive promotion or exaggerated claims, some kind of buzz overstatement, अधिक प्रचार करा जा रहा है. Rein in करना is to strictly control or limit something, that is to put something into check. Okay, rein in is a phrasal verb. Then sedate is to calm and restrain in tone. Reserve, compose है, sedate है, शांति बनाए रखना, संयम बनाए रखना. For that we use it. Okay. I'm again gonna wait for a few seconds. I would like to know is it going well or not. I think it is going well. Yeah. So the summary here that we get to see. Okay, I'll ask grammar questions at the end. If the class keeps going smoothly, then only I will continue taking the grammar part. A Cambridge scientist paper on possible biological activity on exoplanet gained attention. So a paper that gained attention, it was regarding the biological activity on the planet. Though the study was cautious and called for more data, it was something that required more proof. Despite such research being essential for expanding knowledge, now it faces threats from politicized funding cuts. We cannot continue just this kind of research simply in the future because of the funding cuts. Now, Trump has made budget cuts like for NASA and other places. The result is a scientific environment where freedom is fragile and exploration of the unknown risk becoming a casualty of political control. So, knowledge is being interfered because of political agendas. This is the short thing, the summary of this. Okay. Now, exam angle, the essays and all that you could get to see freedom in scientific research, what kind of freedom is needed. There should be no interference of uh, political authorities and all, or there should be curiosity versus control, how politics and the space science align, role of government in supporting or hindering discovery. This is an important one related to science plus political activities going around. And then, should scientific funding be apolitical? Okay, so these are some of the topics you can prepare. I would want to encourage you to start doing the question now. This is your first question. Please start answering. Why does the editorial describe, I'm sorry, why does the editorial describe the Cambridge paper as sedate in its prognostications? ऐसा क्यों ऑथर ने कहा या बोला? Answer is C. It made cautious predictions and emphasized uncertainty. Okay, so because the predictions were cautious, safe side par the, they were not with evidence or maybe stronger proof was still needed, and there was uncertainty. It was not a solid proof of something. Hence, author is calling, hence the editorial is describing the paper as sedate in its prognostication. It's not an aggressive one. It is not something जो कि exactly हम सोच रहे थे. Next question. The answer to this one, second one, is C. Which of the following best captures editorials warning about science funding under Trump administration? So the best captured thing as per the editorial is political ideology was used to dictate scientific priorities. Because funding has been cut, administration is deciding who gets to research what as per that they are funding. So political ideology is interfering, of course, and in a way dictating scientific priorities. Next one. This is just the definition we did. It refers to chemical science that might suggest biological activity. It doesn't confirm. It is not a measurement unit for radiation or scientific standard something. It is a sign, a signal that suggests life may be present. Maybe. Okay? Make sure to like and share the session, guys. I know we encountered some difficulty, but thank you for being so kind and understanding. Answer to this one is C. What concern does editorial raise regarding curiosity driven research? It has no longer it is no longer relevant to practical life. Wrong. It has become obsolete. मतलब कि अब ये पुराना केस हो गया, अब ये नहीं रहा. No, it is under threat due to politicization and misinformation. Yes, that's what we get. Misinformation because research पूरी नहीं हो पाई, in depth नहीं हो पाई, and politicization. We can see what Trump administration is doing. Answer to this one is C. What does the editorial imply by calling science freedom precious yet vulnerable? Okay. So it says it is essential, important for humanity, but easily threatened by politics. Okay. So vulnerable here, we saw that. At the same time, we saw it's still important, it is essential. We'll do some error detection questions. There you go. First one answer is. Report suggests that the funding for space research funding is not are to be halved to be verb third form under whatever federal proposal. Simple one. Next question, question number 2. I would love to see people answering. Question number 2. The research paper, okay, there is a paper, a specific one, claims subject verb agreement is good to go. What? Evidence of what? Dimethyl sulfide. It's the name of chemical, so correct. A chemical that on earth is adverbial phrase, a chemical that is generally linked with life. Linked to, linked with, दोनों ही सही होता है. So this sentence is error free, no error. Second one. Next. I'm happy all for like all those who have answered correctly. Second one. Third one. NASA's Earth Science budget. The budget has been a target of what? Cutbacks. What kind of? Repeated verb third form as adjective. Since over the past few years. Now I cannot say since and over because there is a redundancy. I can say over the past few years or I can use since. So redundancy is using two words to communicate the same idea or meaning. Hence, we will remove this since and just over the past few years, it's enough. There you go, that's the next one. Answer is, of course, remains. While the headlines excited the global scientific community, the paper itself, the paper, this is the scientific research paper that we got to see in the passage, so it remains. Word first form with S or ES is gonna be used. Fifth question. Fifth and the last one, answer is B. This is something I mentioned in the vocab also. If you guys were paying attention, you know the answer. The Trump administration's demand to rein student process? No, to control. The correct phrase is rein in. Rein in student protests and initiatives as a condition. Okay, he is demanding, administration demand. Okay, the demand to rein in is as a condition undermines academic autonomy. So you will see demand is the subject. Demand is to rein in protests and initiatives as a condition for funding. This demand singular verb first form undermines academic autonomy. There you go. Okay. I hope this is all clear. Fifth one, different answers I believe, but yeah, rein in should come. Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much all of you for being here. And once again, I'm trying to figure out why this phrase